For those of you who are here, those of you who are having conversations, it's okay. Yeah. Thank you if you guys could not be here in person to log in online. This is just going to be a quick, short meeting, kind of about one. We got a couple topics to go over. I was addressed that writing goodbyes on the opening page was not a good idea. I'm not leaving. That was just like in my mental state last night when I was putting my final touch up, saying goodbye for the meeting. So I'm here to announce that this is my 2-year notice. Keegan has no idea. No, so I just want to say thanks for spending the time, spending some afternoon. What we got going on, next slide, AJ, is we have a lot of stuff happening this quarter. One thing that Sarah and I have been now announced as our words are kindness and respect. Um, these are two things that we feel very passionate about, and we addressed with the kids on Wednesday night, and we're going to address again tonight. But these are our two words for the year. We really want to instill kindness and respect through these kids, through the way they treat each other, through the way they treat us, through the way they treat you guys, through the way they treat the world. Because ultimately, if you get down to it, like Pastor Keegan talked today in his story, like respect and kindness goes a long way, and people remember it forever. So if I want our kids to be remembered, if I want, the teens and our students to be remembered, I want them to be remembered for being kind and respectful. So those are kind of where Sarah and I have decided we want to travel through the next at least couple months, but kind of have that as a basis for the whole year. Um, what was my next note? Oh, yes. We also have a lot going on in the next early months and busy summers and stuff like that. So just to give you guys a preview for the next couple months, at the end of this month, January 29th, the district is throwing this thing called the Big Picture. The Big Picture is an event that is honestly super, I don't want to say it's all business. We vote on members. Oh yeah, you can change the next slide. Oh, sure. Um, it's all business. We're at the Mountain View Church in Olympia where we just were for all nighter for like 7 hours, and we just sit in classrooms. We vote on new members. We do lectures. We do teaching and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm leaving it up to you. If you want your kids to come, let them come. I will bring them. We will make that happen. I am just being forthright and honest with you. Probably not, yes. It is not something that the kids are going to come and they're going to get to hang out with other people, but we're sitting in classrooms. We're learning at workshops. We're getting in like how the Nazarene community works. We're voting on high schoolers and junior high members to be a part of our district. Like it really is a business meeting. Afterwards, we're going to actually Defy over there in Tumwater to celebrate, but it is a long day. So that is discretion on you guys. I want to bring as many kids as want to come and that feel like they are ready to come as well as that. So that's in January. February, we actually are planning our own trip to Defy with a couple other churches over in Silverdale. We don't have a Saturday picked because Jesse hasn't looked at the calendar for the church, so he will get that out tomorrow. Yes, it will be tomorrow. And then what we're kind of here for, what the big meeting is the Nazarene Youth Conference. It's NY. Oh yeah, I can. That's just in May. I was gonna go like Okay, the gathering. No, the gathering's good because it's up there. The gathering is a high school event only, and it is hosted by our district college, NNU, and it is a giant 7-state main event for high schoolers. So what it is they host. No one's on campus except a couple professors, the faculty there, and they're willing to show the high schoolers what it is like to live in college for the weekend in Idaho, Southern Idaho, at NNU, at the campus. It is at the campus. They have options to go to a class and go to like lectures. Then we're having like a giant, like our whole district will be a team, and we're having like dodgeballs and stuff and games and all this stuff. I went to something like this when I was in high school. It was a lot of fun, but I have never been to this specific one. I've heard a lot of great things, but it is high school only, going into ninth grade and leaving. Obviously, if you're graduating in June, and current kids in ninth grade, so no eighth graders, but current kids to ninth, because it kind of is like a recruiting trip on their part as well. Okay, the big shebang is NYC. You want to play that video before I start talking? Can you not click the link? Thank you. I did my due diligence sometimes. Well, I couldn't. The hardest part was picking a design for the back of the PowerPoint. I was gonna just make it like all the kids' faces, but I was like, ah, that's kind of rude. Yeah. Is it not playing? Take your time, dude. You're killing it, and I am very thankful for you. 2023, July 5th through the 9th. So she can still go. You never know. We got a year. We got a year and a half. Okay. As little as short as that video was, I have a link for you guys, and I will post it in the comment section. It's a 13-minute video about what it's about. I personally have never been to NYC. I was really hoping to have one of my siblings who is here, but it's a 4-day. Yeah, Catherine went. It's a 4-day conference. Yeah, you can come up here. See. Yeah, it honestly, truthfully, is a once in a lifetime opportunity for these kids. It happens every 4 years, where you get to go. Potentially, if you're lucky, you get to go twice because you're going into ninth grade, you're leaving 12th grade. There's an option for that. But what it is it's a 4-day conference that these kids get to experience with high schoolers across the nation. So, and not just the United States, there's people from Canada, there's people, I don't know if Mexico comes personally, but I think that they're invited. Um, but what happens is it's 4 days. We spend the first day kind of getting into wraps, into what happens. They have a witness day where you're investing into the community of what Tampa Bay needs. So I know for last time that they were there in Arizona, I know Jaden, Nathan, Caitlin, Reagan, and AJ all went, and they were like recycling water bottles and taking the labels off and throwing the labels in trash and just going through all this stuff where you spend a whole day investing into the community that has let all these teens, anywhere from I think 5 to 10,000 students will go. We don't know obviously what this is going to do like because of COVID, but I know we already can't. Oh, we haven't canceled it, but it is still on. I shouldn't have said that word. It is still on, and it potentially can be really expensive. Yes. Yes. So that's true. So we will be flying out. I know when they went to Arizona, they flew out, I think, 2 days before, and the night that they got there, the whole conference rented out Six Flags overnight, and they went to Six Flags and got to ride rides and hang out and meet new people. And then afterwards, our district rented charter buses and drove from Arizona to California and went to Disneyland. So it's in Tampa Bay, Florida. There is another Disney park. Jan. Hmm. Totally. Mhm. That'd be so cool. It is, and I know, like from what I've heard from it, they do this thing at the concerts because they have speakers and they have like Christian artists and bands and stuff like that. And every kid gets a bracelet, and if your bracelet lights up in the middle of the concert, you get to go down to the front row stage. Like it's just random. Random students just go down. So like I know like our kids got to go down for King and Country and sit in the middle of a mosh pit, as much of a mosh pit as it is, to worship and just praise with kids their own age. One other cool aspect that I'm really excited for on myself is our whole district designs a T-shirt, and we all wear that T-shirt. But every district across designs a T-shirt, and you're trying to trade your shirt for the coolest shirt you see. So like Jaden, my little sister brought home a Born in West Philadelphia shirt from a youth group in Philadelphia, which is across the whole country. One thing that is exciting for me is that these kids are going to be able to witness, like Jan's saying, that God is bigger than Gig Harbor, Washington. Exactly. So it's this possibility that to have this life changing moment. I know in my own life with my two siblings, Nathan's now helping AJ in Port Orchard with the youth group, and he's heavily involved, and he wants this deeper relationship with Jesus because of moments he had at NYC. Yes, it was 109 degrees, and they don't remember it. And the van, the buses they took to Disneyland didn't have AC, and so they remember these days. They remember these things for their whole life, and they will never forget it. All right. So yeah, no. And so here's the thing. It it was $1,550 to go to Arizona. So where Pastor Keegan and I have been meeting, we're gonna say it's around 2,000 a kid to go to Tampa Bay, Florida. And one of our goals is to fundraise 75% per student that wants to go. At least 75%. So with this, with this with this comes fundraising, because some of you kids are going to have 3 or 4 kids, or however many kids are going to go, and that's way too expensive. So with this is fundraising. Keegan and I had an idea to throw a golf tournament like Young Life does. We have done the due diligence, we have done the research. I have already reserved a golf course in Gig Harbor, community driven, and they're giving us a deal for $1,000 to rent the course for the day. So it's a 9-hole course. We have an option for 9 groups of 4. We're going to do a 4-man scramble, and it's going to be $500 per group. So already, yes, you don't. Where the thing is where we find the question marks is it's on a Thursday. So now we're on the March 24th, and it's all day. We're probably going to start it. We haven't got the start time yet, but where we're going to probably get started is 9 a.m., and we need help, because what the effort we put into this is the effort we're going to get in return. Like he said this morning, we have a very good possibility of going north of $10,000 just in fundraising. And that just goes to the kids, that goes to the meetings. What we're also going to do, which I think you all appreciate, is we're going to show up at the board meeting after with the youth group, and we're going to go and we're going to have thank you cards and stuff like that for everyone that is involved, for the sponsorships. So to make the most money, we have to find sponsorships. Currently, I have walked around the harbor, and I've passed out a letter, which I have here in case you guys know any businesses. I can grab that. Which just talks about how much it costs to sponsor a hole, what it does for you, what it does for us. We're doing $250 a hole, 18 holes. So that already, our goal is to get 2 sponsors per hole. We already have a check written. One company has already sponsored us right across the street in the AR workshop, and they have already decided to put this in. Where we need help is, I walked around all day one day, and I've gotten 1 phone call back. So we need people that are going to, I have all the businesses written down that I saw. We need people to kind of call and check in. We need people that, if you know people with companies or want to do stuff like that, we need that. We also are going to need, like, one thing we were talking about is food. I have a lunch meeting on Wednesday with a barbecue to you place to see if they would just want to make us 50 meals and go that way. So we're making the effort, but slowly. I don't want to do it by myself and miss out on potentially thousands of dollars because I think I can do it by myself. So humbly, we come here and we ask for ideas that you're going to have. We're going to be making little gift baskets, which is something that I would not be good at, but gift baskets that you can sell at the course for $150 that are, hey, you can buy 6 feet of rope and a sleeve of balls, and you get 2 mulligans for the whole, or for the whole 18, and that's $150 just for you to take that. Exactly, that's exactly true. Good morning. Uh, um, and so the idea is that the effort that we are willing to take, the effort that we are willing to put in, is the effort that's going to be given back to us. Because I don't ever, in events, in anything, want money to stop a kid from experiencing God, from ever. And I will never. I have took it upon myself to never let that happen. That's $4,000. No. 9. 45.
So I was just saying that for those of you online, if we get $250 sponsors for 18 holes, that's $4,500. If we add the amount of money that all the players will play, they're paying 125 per person. That's 500. Is that? No, that's bad math. No, that's right. 500 times 9 is another $4,500. So we've already potentially cleared 9,500. Our cost of the golf course is $1,000. But like on our par 3 holes, we're going to have somebody with a Square account and a table. So if a player hits a shot, and we were like, hey, for $5, we'll let you hit another one. And we're just going to collect money. A lot of players will do that. We're going to have a sponsorship table at the turn, so that just for 2 people that will sit there like, hey, do you want to make an additional donation to our youth ministry for this trip? And then that's great, Michelle. That's awesome. So then people, and a lot of times these guys know that it's for the kids, and so they're like, hey, just drop another $500 for the kids on me. It's totally fine. So these are golfers. These are guys that are a lot of these members. We have a website that gives us access to notify that this event is happening, so people will sign up quickly once we release this on the site. So we're not concerned about finding golfers. We need the help with sponsorships. We need the help with follow-up with the businesses we're following up with. And we need somebody who can help design a banner and all of the signs that we're going to create for all the sponsorships.
Another appeal is that we, like, being the nonprofit, we have tax IDs. So if people are like that, it is tax write-off. It is anything like that. So we're going to have those posted to, like, at the table with Michelle or whoever else is there with her. We're going to probably, Keegan might play in it, but we're going to, I'll be driving around a cart, either like going to Costco and getting muffins and selling muffins and doing stuff like that. Like, our plan is to put as much effort in for this one day.
I was just going to say, we're not doing this on our own. This is partnered with the golf course, who has a fundraising guy who has given us all of this information, who does this over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So he's the one that's saying, do this, think about this, add this in, you're going to be successful. So our goal is 10 grand, and I think that's pretty easy to do based upon what we're trying to do.
And then the biggest thing is we need deadlines, because we have to have our whole sponsorships by probably the end of February or no later, because then we have to get signage and we have to get posters and we have to get banners and stuff like that to get out there, so that we can honor what we're doing. And we've made it our own decision that we're not going to go skimpy on a sign. We're not just going to put something you stick in the ground and write on there, AR Workshop.
They're going to have their logo.
They're going to have their logos. They're going to have their phone numbers and their information.
It's going to look classy.
We want to respect them investing into our church, and potentially this is something that we can do twice before NYC of next summer.
Exactly.
Yes.
If they do, we'll take them. Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's just it too. And so, like, our potential is, if we get, let's say we go low this year and get $8,500, and then we get $10,000 next year, that's $18,000, sorry. And then there's going to be fundraising in between. We have other fundraising stuff we're going to be doing for camps, for camps and for in the fall for this exact same event. And then many of you guys are thinking like, oh, I have a kid that's not going to make it to NYC in 2023, but they're going to be able to go in 2026. This whole idea of where we are at is we're going to start setting up student accounts. We're going to be setting up like, hey, you putting the effort in here, we're honoring that. We're splitting this between the 10 kids that went, and they're going to have accounts. So if we're going to DU in August and Cash Weber has $1,300 in his account, I can call Gene and Amy and go, hey, DU's $150 for your kid. Do you want to pay that, or do you want me to take it out of Cash's account? Yeah. And it gets to the point where if we do enough fundraising and we are putting in the effort, our kids are not going to miss events due to money.
They will not. They will not. I will tell you, Jamie and I have run this NYC event on a district-wide level. So Jamie and I were charged a couple of times of getting 350 kids across the country with sponsors from our district. And I can tell you, of the 2 times that we did it, there were some families that had 2 to 3 kids that wanted to go that were in the age group qualified. And I told them, money will not hinder your kid from going. Not once in all the time that I went as a youth pastor 5 times. I went as a district sponsor twice. Never once has a kid not gone because of money. And we will make sure that every kid that wants to go will go. We will raise that money to make it possible, which is why we're starting this right now, is so that
we have anywhere from 8 to 12 right now.
Yeah.
So, and And yeah, and that's doable, and that's kind of
That's
taking
$24,000 to get our kids fully paid and funded there. I mean, that's between now and then, it's totally doable.
The thing is too is we don't want to stop when we get it. This isn't where we're fundraising for NYC. Yes, we're also fundraising for all the other events because I want your, like I said, I don't want money to be an option to not go to a DU, to not go to a summer camp, to not go to little events like Defy or anything like that. I don't want that to be an option that it's like hesitancy for your kids. So with this specific one, I don't really. I mean, if you want to, it is all your discretion. It is a half day
For school.
But because it's conferences.
Spring conferences.
It is spring conferences. Yes, on March 24th. It is honestly at your discretion if they want to come after, if they want to come in the morning and help out. My goal is that any kid that is going to be receiving funds from this is writing thank you letters and is showing up in the meeting with me. I understand that this is something that they have school and that is a priority, but where I am at is they are also going to put effort in behind the scenes in writing letters, in all these things, even before and after, and we're going to make our face known to this awesome club that's going to let us do it because we want to keep that relationship to do it next year and to do it the year after. And if we can keep this a continuous thing and this relationship, then we're going to be okay. And one thing that Keegan and I are is so far we've done everything local. Our hearts are local. We are in a Gig Harbor Golf Club. We are looking at businesses in Gig Harbor. We are looking for all these things that are going to invest into our community and show, and not like put our building on the map, but show like these people aren't going to these major corporations and going to Dick's Sporting Goods to get this or going to a Costco or all these things. We really want to invest in the businesses. One, kind of in this downtown square. Like that would be our ideal thing where we're investing right here where we're at. But we understand that we also do need to invest into the Gig Harbor idea too.
One of the reasons we're doing this on a community-wide level is that historically what tends to happen is when you start talking about events and you want to fundraise, you milk your local church dry. So you'll do a bake sale, and then you'll do a silent auction, and then you'll do all these things in-house, and basically it's, all right, all the internal people are just going to buy up all this stuff, and then and then they just feel milk dry. There's plenty of money in this community to help make sure that there's people invested. Jesse and I have relationships in the community with lots of people who want to partner and help make this happen. So there's no reason why we can't do this and then just keep an ongoing relationship with the Gig Harbor Golf Club. They've told us from Gig Harbor Golf Club, since it's a membership-only course, a lot of people in town want to play the course and don't have memberships there, and this is an opportunity for them to get on the course and play.
And it's an opportunity. Yeah, and it's an opportunity for them, exactly.
That's exactly why they do it, is that they...
They're like, if you can bring people to know about us, they are going to get us more money than we're willing to do this. They are charging us less. There is that they are going to have their own bar open. We're not supplying any alcohol, but on the agreement we signed, they're going to have their bar for their people. Because one of our big connections literally told me in our meeting, is like, I'm not going to golf 18 holes and not have a beer. And I said, that's okay. Like, you do you. He's like, I'm going to have that. And I said, and truthfully, their main revenue isn't coming from the $1,000 we're giving them. It's coming from that. And so
it comes from their bar sales and the potential future members. So if one of those golfers signs up and gets a membership at the golf club, they've more than paid for what they're helping us out with. I don't know about that.
So one thing that they're like, we have the course the whole day. So I mean, I'm sure that Justin talked to me, which is our connection there, and he has literally said, he's like, I'll probably get you 8 members that'll probably want to play in it, and that's probably it. But if it goes more, it doesn't, and if it goes less, it doesn't. So in this, we have an opportunity to keep that, like Keegan was saying, keep that connection, keep it outside of our church building to let your kids. And, like, we all obviously love them, but we want them to know other people. And honestly, it's an outreach program for kids that have the parents that are going to go, oh, what's this? And potentially you reach new kids that are going to the same high schools as our students and the same junior highs as our students.
One of the reasons our goal was 75% per kid was because we do want, like my mom said, the kid to have some potential skin in the game a little bit, that we're not just going to raise all the coin for you so you can go on this trip and then just get you whatever you want. Like, we want the kids to be involved in this capacity, But it might be that you set it up with your kid, that you say that they'll get the 75 and it's your responsibility to come up with $250 on your own out of your own pocket as an investment on your part to help make this a reality as well. They have more appreciation for the event when they've actually had to work their tails off to get there. We just want to help be the shot in the arm to help make it a possibility.
That's one thing AJ did. AJ did a lot of yard work for a lot of people or anything like that. Like he went to the company. And so that's something we want 75% fundraised, but we also are willing to get 25% through the labor of the kids as well. I know like there is I think if there's 16 months until NYC again, and to raise potentially $500 is a little bit less than $25 a month. And so I've, like in my own siblings, she started babysitting to raise $25 a month and is just putting it in a jar, or she's just saving change from the cars or whatever it is. So it is something that we are asking the kids to put in the effort also, because it's right. It's harder to spend your own money than it is to spend your parents'. Totally, and that's our goal. This is a huge opportunity for our kids. I gotta stop calling them kids. These are a huge opportunity for the teens, because it could potentially, like Jan was saying, change their life for the better, for the good, in any which direction. There is this one of my favorite stories from the last NYC is there is this kid, and I don't know if you guys know what Instagram is, but there was this.
We know what Instagram means, which means the kids aren't using it anymore.
There was this kid who had 80 followers on Instagram. I can't quite remember his name, but he got called up on a stage at NYC, and he left NYC 3 days later with 15,000 because he rapped a verse to some of these songs. Actually, you guys know the song "Jesus Freak" by DC Talk? I saw a man with a tat on his big. What's that? DC Talk? It's so anyway. Yep. Well, it's an opportunity to outreach in. Yes, you're right. Like I said before, I really want our kids to get connected and think that and know that God is bigger than Gig Harbor, Washington, because it took me a long time to figure that out, that the same God that we serve in this building, I got to serve in Argentina 2 years ago, and that we got to experience these moments with God. I want them to experience the same thing. We are flying across the country to the farthest point of Western Washington, to Tampa Bay, Florida, to get to experience the same God that we serve in this building in there with churches from all over our continent, to experience the same depth of who we are at the core of what we are. And so our goal is to not let a kid miss out on that.
Okay, sorry. So I went to this event when I was 15 years old too. I came from a very small church in Montana. So to go and explore something big in Phoenix, Arizona was a big deal to me. And so I came from a very small youth group, about 100 people in our church. So kind of similar to Gig Harbor right now. And my life was forever changed. The speaker that I resonated with most talked about getting out of the boat, like being brave and being bold, and I was like, I'm ready to get out of the boat. So I just remember that image from even today, like as a 15-year-old kid saying, yes, I want to get out of the boat, I want to be bold, I want to go home. It just changed my life forever as a young, pretty introverted 15-year-old kid. So I recommend. I know, I'm sorry, we weren't connected yet. Yeah. And I mean, truthfully, like probably a call to the ministry that God has allowed me to be part of today. So
another thing too is our whole district is responsible for each other. So it's not like Sarah and I are going to watch our 12 kids. It really is, we're going to have a group of kids throughout our whole district. I know on a personal note, when we left the all-nighter, I had 2 girls that were crying because they thought they were never going to see the girls that they met at that all-nighter again. And so when that reality is, one, we're going to see them at the end of the month, but it's a connection between our community. You're gonna remember these kids. You're gonna meet them this year at camp. You're gonna meet them next year at camp. You're gonna meet them at NYC. You're gonna meet them at all these things that is gonna build relationships that are bigger than our own youth group. And so one thing that I am really excited for is I've never been either. So I had no own experience of what it's like. I've only heard the stories. Don't ask Heidi Anderson what it's like, because she says she didn't like it. But that's why she's not allowed in our meeting. Yes, Catherine.
So I went in '97, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, and '99. to San Antonio. Oh, that's what it was. So that's not the. Are you? I didn't go. But my company is committing to sponsoring a team, and then we're also gonna do it's me, but I like to say we so like because I feel like maybe there will be more people that will join up or whatever. Anyways, I say we because like my company is really committed to helping the community, and I feel like we are all a part of that community. So anyways, so I'm gonna do a team anyway, and we'll probably sponsor polls and stuff like that too.
The
I don't know. Peggy's just asking us for like, hey, here's a list of things you need to do, and then tell us what we need to do.
Mhm. Yes. Right now, that's the most important thing because as we pointed out, that's $4,500 that we need. And so, one thing that we're saying, so take these letters, and just either pass them out to people you know. One thing that is a big pull for us, which I don't know if we wrote, is that it's a 9-hole course. So technically your logo is not just getting seen once, but they're getting seen twice. Because it's a 9-hole course that we're gonna have 2 sponsorships on both hole, and you're gonna get to play that hole twice essentially. So. You get 2 chances, and then, yes. Well, I think we're talking about doing a banner, too, as well, with all the people. And the golf course, it is now the Michelle table. And also the course is for an extra $100, so it's $250 a hole, but for an extra $100, we will put your logo on the rule sheet that will be in every cart and on the scorecard that will be in every cart. So, yes. So, from the sponsorships. So, like, yeah. Yeah, so for more exposure, obviously more money, but that's our goal. So we have an option. I'm honestly going to keep a scorecard because I think that's kind of cool with all the logos that are on it that are going to be with the people if they keep their scorecards, and we'll make every person take a scorecard and then they take it home or whatever it is. So it is the atmosphere of what we've I think we decided this in November, late November, but it is what we put in, we will get out. Yes. Mm-hmm. I have one. Yeah. Yeah. So the hard part that we're dealing with right now is, yeah. So Melissa was asking if I had a Google sheet for where we've been, so we're not berating the same businesses, which is true. So I do have everywhere that I've been, and it's actually my office, and I can share a Google Doc with everybody. The one, yeah, yeah, yeah. You did call that. So the other thing that is tough is all these business. I'm coming. The one thing that's tough right now is the one thing that we're running into is I passed all these letters out last year with our 2021. So this is actually an updated letter that says 2022. So with certain businesses that didn't get back to us last year now are going to need this specific letter as a receipt for saying they did it. Okay, yes, Amy.
Oh, no. Oh, people hear me. There needs to be some sort of document that has, like, everything that's been done, too.
All we have done right now is we have the course.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I was like, I could tell you what you got done.
It's my organizational thing. So, and like you said with the banner, like I know you haven't done it yet, but Jessica?
Yeah. So we've talked to Jessica, and Jessica and I are in talks about her not sponsoring anything, but donating.
No, not sponsoring. Oh, but donating.
But donating that aspect, which just takes another bill out of. So if we're going to go get 18 signs, she's like, hey, how about instead of me sponsoring, I put my name on the banner too?
Oh, okay.
And then she donates all that, which is now another expense that we're not paying. So we're still in talks about that. She hasn't said yes or no, but that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay.
Yes. I second the nomination.
What But the thing was, is that whatever Jessica isn't doing, like if she's not doing the shirts, like
So that's it. Yeah, so she is technically doing our shirts. That's
Okay.
another side note. All you guys saw that your kids brought shirts home after Christmas. That is also another fundraiser we're doing for camps with the kids ministry too. Is we're gonna
which
have,
FYI, I gave Jesse something and he did not print it up because he didn't look at it till this morning.
I looked at it last night. I can technically print it. So all it is they're T-shirts, they're sweatshirts. One thing we have is we already have our logo with the company. You just tell me I'm gonna have the sheet. You can tell me a color, and you can tell me a sweatshirt, a crew neck, or a T-shirt. T-shirts are $15, crew necks are $25, and sweatshirts are $35. And the way it works is we have to have at least 12 before we make an order, and then we'll make an order and we'll get them in. And that is just all the profits from that are going straight to kids' accounts for camp. Just our youth fund that are going to sponsor kids for here or there, whatever it is. Because again, we don't want money to be an issue for your kids not being places. Yes, Keegan or I, but Keegan. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes. So that happened a few times. I also did go into one business that was going out of business, so I'll kind of just keep them off the list because they were like, "Well, we're retiring anyway."
Oh.
Which, yeah, right at the little house building right at the thing, which was really awkward. But the one thing is I am very grateful for all you guys because I've already gone past my 30 minutes. But one thing I do want to say is that you guys all are willing to put in the effort, which I appreciate. I appreciate the non-youth group parents that are here that are willing to put effort in as well. Our goal, I do too. As we go, I want to pray for all you guys. Unless you guys have any other questions. Yes. Potentially. Our big thing right now is, I mean, I don't want to say no to PO's fine. Cool. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes, we are. Okay, so anyone have any other questions before I pray for you and you guys can go have lunch? Probably. Yeah, we can probably do that. Yeah. So then we just share it in our group email. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so one thing that we are going to do tomorrow is I will have a logo and a flyer made up, and then we'll have that going. I'll have the Google Doc done tomorrow for the T-shirts. I'll have the Google Doc for where I've already been, and then I will have also the letter that I have written, if in case you don't take one right now. Yeah, and I'll have this, and I'll share that all with you, so you guys can email it to people or whatever you guys need to do. And so here's the fun part is, if you get someone that sponsors you, whether it's a check or cash, it needs to be made out to the church. So Gig Harbor Nazarene. Or, truthfully, it would be a lot easier for me to track if you just tell them to contact me. And I have given my phone number out to I don't know how many people. It's on the That's perfect. That's perfect. Just tell me. And the thing is I just need to know who it's from, when you got it, and then yes, the name. Yeah, no, like the name of the business. So, like, I went to the fly fishing place and dropped it off with a guy named Jacob, who is not the manager. He's a high school kid. Yeah. So that's just it. Like, hey, if you can give this to them, do I know if they gave it to him? I don't know, but
But if somebody writes a check on the spot, it's very important for them to put in the notes what do you want it to say.
yeah. Check. That'll work. Yes. So, but it does need to be made out to the church, or yeah. So made it out to the church. I also on the letter, and what I'll have is, if they don't want to sponsor a whole, but they're like, hey, I'll just donate $100. Same thing applies. Check to the church, and then we'll just be making that all as a progress. We will. Yes, Jamie. I my only thing is that should be okay. I just need to I have the letter of who's all sponsored already, and so I don't want to be miss and then have X amount or like okay this is yes, that would be perfect as long as yes, huh? Or in my box if yeah. So I just need to know what we're getting and who we're getting it from. That way we can have our list set. Yeah, and you guys can all edit it. That works.
Am I really in charge of this? Oh. Oh, seriously. Okay.
Amy, you're the best. Yeah, so I will get that list to you and I'll email you back. Yes, I will email that to you tonight. I'm hanging out at church. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so before we go, I just want to express my gratitude to you all, and then we're gonna pray. And I hope you guys all get to not. I didn't ruin your let's eat thing with your people today, but I just want to let you guys. I know. I just want to let you guys know that I love you and I appreciate your guys' faithfulness to me, faithfulness to the church, faithfulness to the community, and your kids. So you guys all bow your heads. God, we just lift up this group of parents, this group of adults that are willing to take time out of their Sunday to meet with me, but also take time out of their next busy months to make something happen that is a huge possibility for the kingdom of God. I pray for these people as they go that they will have determination and motivation to make this happen. God, I pray for myself and the leaders that here that we can stay on top of it and make this a priority to be able to fundraise and raise funds to who you are and to build the church of who you are, because ultimately we just want to be near you. We just want to be closer to you, and if that comes with fundraising with each other and getting our kids involved, then that's what we want. So I pray for these people as they go from here that they drive safe. As I see most of them later tonight, I just pray that they will have more ideas and more things to talk about. I pray for the kids of these families that they will go and be able to acknowledge what is happening and be able to put in effort and motivation for them to get to have this once in a lifetime opportunity to spend a week with people who are the same age and know what it's like to go through the last 2 years and be able to experience the things that they all experienced, because no one in this room understands what it's like to go to school through these complications, but surrounding themselves with people that do is a huge outlet that could work. So God, I praise you for your time. I give this to you in your name. Amen.